We lived in LA, and my father was an educational statistician and a big advocate of standardized testing, in fact, a pioneer in that area. My mother was a housewife. She hated it, and so when there was an opportunity to get the copyright to some tests that my father had developed in the LA schools, she took advantage of that. She was not about to invest a lot of money, but she did get these 25 penny postcards and sent them out to school districts. I mean, I'm a kid in a big buggy at that time. Women weren't very much in business, but Kansas City, Missouri responded with an order for like $25,000 or something, which, knocked her out of the ballpark practically. So then she had to become a businesswoman really fast. The name of my book is The 25-Cent Gamble. Well, that was just a chance she took. She had the rights to this test, and she wanted to do something, but without spending very much money. And it just happened that she lucked out. I went to Santa Monica Junior College and loved it. And from there I went to UCLA, and from there I went to USC. And that's about where I stopped. McGraw-Hill bought CTB in 1965, and I was with CTB at the time as a vice president when they had the offices in Monterey. I must have been about 35, 40, something like that. And then in their wisdom, McGraw-Hill kept me on, and I loved it. I had a law degree, so I was doing mostly author negotiations and contracts, that kind of thing. I probably shouldn't tell this on myself, but I was scared to death I was going to make a mistake, and I always thought how lucky I was that I was still low enough in the totem pole that my work had to go to some experienced attorneys before it was finally released.
In 1982, we started a community bank in Monterey County, and we were determined to get the best directors, not ones who had money, not ones who had fame, not ones who had this or that, but people who were very smart in business, but also very understanding about giving back to the community, which is very important as a community bank. June went on the board for 10 or 15 years, can't quite tell you how many. She was business. Her mom and dad, I think, had taught her a great deal about business. For years after CTB was purchased by McGraw-Hill, she would go in and nobody there knew she was CTB Clark. She was very quiet about a big family.
It's a big movement then about women and women's movement. All of a sudden, I was in demand because I was an executive. And so I was on 2 or 3 boards that I loved, and the hospital was one of them. I thought, well, besides time, I really should be donating something. Probably shouldn't admit it, but that was hard for me to do. I've worked all my life, and I saved frugally all my life, and I'm going to give my money away, so through Clay and association with the other board members at the bank, I learned a lot about money. And there is something called a charitable gift annuity. That was just brand new. And I read about that, and I thought, gee, this is a way to get some of my money back, that it was an all or nothing. And so that turned me onto gift giving. I donated money for 2 hospital rooms, and my folks, I know for sure, did 1 and maybe 2. My folks really were instrumental in feeling the hospital was where investments should be made, because you want to know that you've got a healthy hospital in case you have to go there. And I think that's a very good reason people donate.
I've been thinking about the market lately.
There was a brokerage ad where they talk about someone who doesn't say a lot, but if one spoke, everyone just kind of would listen.
What'd your broker say?
And that's the way June was. If she had something she wanted to say of interest or ask a question, everyone would just kind of wait to hear. If you had been on a committee or worked with June, maybe at CTB McGraw-Hill or community hospital or the bank, or anywhere. When you walked away from that meeting with June Duran, you were with someone that was extremely classy, very classy.
But I've had a wonderful education at 2 marriages that were both terrific guys, and it seems to me like I've just lucked out.